Okay, a little update on reading lessons. This is really important while we're off school because of the coronavirus. Um, Obviously, whilst you're at home, you still are expected to read the chapters. Um, so I need to talk about what's going to happen now. Most of the chapters, if they're particularly long, are 2 lessons. So one of the lessons is for reading and the other one is for writing. There are short chapters where I'll expect you to read and do some writing practice in one lesson, but the majority of chapters are 2 lessons. So obviously on Google Classroom, you're expected to go to the slides which contain the audiobook, so you really need to go on there and have a little look. They've also got objectives, what you need to look out for in the chapter, and some annotation practice if you want to do that. And the audiobook's always the last slide, so it's still really, really important that you listen to the audiobook. And as we go through, whilst you're at home, I'm going to give lots more explanations in the audiobook, so there'll be a lot more of me talking and explaining stuff. So during this time, it's important that you are held accountable. So you should still be annotating. It will help you, and you'll have all the answers for open book tests or essays. But I'm not going to sit there and micromanage and force you to annotate. But you will have to do a deliverable during reading lessons. That means you have to show me that you've done something during reading lessons. So each reading lesson, you will have to complete a table which analyses 4 literary devices or specific word choice from the author and the effect of these devices. So what that'll look like is something like this. I've actually got when you'll do it all from one chapter. So you're doing chapter 5 next, you'll do it all for chapter 5. I've just got examples from every chapter. So down here, the device or word choice, you'll put in the evidence. I like you to embed the evidence because it's good practice. So I've put, when Jack put on his mask, his laughter became a bloodthirsty snarling. Then you do your level 1. So Golding has used animal imagery comparing Jack's laughter to a snarl, like that of a predatory animal. But when Ralph learns Piggy's cruel nickname, he laughs and machine gun Piggy on the beach. Golding has used a metaphor to show Piggy being attacked. This war imagery is important given the setting of World War III. And along the beach there were skull-like coconuts. Golding used a simile to say that the coconuts, among other things on the island, die. And when Jack applied the charcoal to his face, he slashed it across. Golding's use of slash has connotations with a knife. So these are all level 1. Then you move up to level 2. So for the first one, this indicates that Jack is becoming less civil and more savage. It could foreshadow that he will kill weaker characters, such as Piggy, like a predator kills his prey. This one here, this reveals that the boys romanticise war and violence despite being evacuated because of the war. The skull-like coconuts, this death imagery foreshadows death on the island and paints a clear picture that the island is not a paradise but is in fact deadly. And the slashed one, this indicates Jack is a violent character and suggests he might become more violent. Then finally you do level 3. The first one, the bloodthirsty snarling, this develops the theme of savagery. The machine gun Piggy, this alludes to the context. The book was written just after World War II, a war in which Golding saw violence. The skull-like coconuts, this is important because it immediately contracts the book of which Lord of the Flies is a parody, the Coral Islands, suggesting the events are going to be deadly instead of civil. And the last one, slash, this develops the theme of savagery within the story. So you need to do this every reading lesson, pick 4 from the chapter, level 1, 2, 3. Obviously when you're doing your level 1, you identify what can you see, what is it? Is it a metaphor, simile, personification, oxymoron, polysyndeton? And then what is it saying? Use terms like this. So what is it saying, the underlying message, what's it trying to say? Don't just repeat it. Then level 2, interpret. So what you have to do here is you look at the individual part. Here you look at how it applies to the whole book. So what does it show about the character, the tone, the setting, the plot? So does it foreshadow anything? How does it develop the setting, the tone? How does it make you feel about the character? And then the last one, level 3, you apply it to the outside, basically. So how does it develop a theme, or the author's style? What connections can you make to real events, so social historical context, or the author's life, or other books? So you need to be using these words as well. So that's it, every lesson, every reading lesson, you need to be doing that.